Right? Like, you can't just roll up on people with dead people's faces. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka Geek XX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to Ironheart. We're now on to episode 2, which is called Will the Real Natalie Please Stand Up? I like the reference. For those of you who are born after 2000, it's okay. So in the first episode, I think we just kind of got an overview of where Riri is right now in her life. We got a little bit of background on her, where she's been, how she's gotten to this point. And effectively, she's gotten kicked out of MIT, and she still wants to be able to make that great iron suit because she believes that's going to be the ticket to her living the life that she believes she should be living and fulfilling her dreams. But because she's been kicked out of school and does not have access to those resources anymore, we see that she ends up getting pulled into this situation with a group that performs not so legal activities for money. And they basically said, we'll give you what you need as long as you help us with your brain. So Riri agreed to do this, but she had to put together a suit in 24 hours. And we see that she pushed herself very, very hard to do so. And in the process of it, I think she was trying to program her AI. She fell asleep. And when she woke up, she is seeing what looks like a manifestation of her late best friend. So I guess that's why we're going to find out whether or not this is in fact the real Natalie. So I'm ready to jump in and see that. Let's do it. But just before I do, if you'd like to know when I drop episodes, please hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And you can also watch this reaction uncut on my Patreon if you're interested. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right now.
Oh, you nice with it. Please stop talking. Did you just slam my door? Sorry.
That's a black household.
What you mean I just got here? I need to figure out what went wrong so I can erase you, start over, and hopefully forget this weird glitch ever happened. Whoa, who you calling a glitch?
You.
You're designed to obey. Run diagnostics now. See, I just don't
Establish
understand.
dominance.
I'm looking at a hologram of my dead best friend instead. That's only weird if you make it weird.
No, it's always weird.
Oh my God.
Bring
I don't have
bagels.
time for this.
Do I look like I have money?
Do not do anything until I get back. As you wish, Master Riri.
Glad we have the hierarchy established. That's crazy. That interface that you built is a little too good, girl.
Sitting across from me is Slug, our hacker extraordinaire from Madripoor.
I don't like the name Slug. Love the fashion, though.
I don't want to toot my own horn or anything.
You do, but that's okay.
Next is Clown, our pyrotechnic specialist.
Okay. Interesting code name.
Finally, that leaves my cousin, John.
Oh, your cousins.
I'm also highly skilled in the art of skirma de stiletto siciliano.
Pardon?
Hi, I'm John. My parents didn't say I love you, so now I play with knives.
Damn. Read like a book.
You'll upload a virus created by yours truly,
It'll be beautiful.
allowing me to shut down the system. It's on this flash drive here.
How come she gotta do it?
Once Parker's done with negotiations, we meet at the pickup spot. Be there on time or take the bus.
Oh. Yeah, I have questions.
So, like, when do we get paid?
Yeah, that's all I care about.
Direct deposit?
This is a valid question. Why are you laughing? Thank you.
Let's do it.
Interesting little exchange there. Okay, going well.
This man sent me straight to voicemail.
He's a little bit salty. Yeah, you know, ego thing.
Who could brave the dark corners of the internet and locate everything you need.
You're gonna have to interact with her.
Yes, okay, besties, breaking the rules. Oh, God,
That's
remember we...
okay.
Amy, all three Bonnie and Clyde is the classic. No, how do you remember something that
You didn't experience.
Wow, the betrayal. What? It has games. Good luck.
That's funny. Enjoy yourself.
Right here. Right here.
Oh, little man, little man. Yeah, I'm wondering what happened when she fell asleep. They haven't really explained that, but clearly it got into her deep subconscious.
In this economy. I can keep
Kid's like, do you know how hard? I work 3 full-time jobs already.
Hey, don't blame me. Blame inflation.
Tell her. He's got college to prep for. What you want?
Give me a check.
No, I'll take care of it next time. See you later, Joe.
The way that dog would be punted halfway across, I'm dead ass.
Technically, you need a permit for that, but I'm willing to look the other way.
Wow.
An underprivileged
Damn.
youth.
Wow. How dare you judge me like that, sir?
Maybe we should take this inside.
You know? Underprivileged.
You've got the wrong guy. Maybe whoever you're looking for lived here
Really?
before
That's
me
why
and
you took it
forgot.
inside, though?
I didn't say anything about the black market.
Mm-hmm. There you go, Joe.
How do you know where the items came from?
Who knows?
Yeah, you're a bad liar, Joe. Let's get to the point.
Look at me. There's no way I can survive prison. Have you seen
I
Orange
mean-
is the New Black? They'll eat me alive.
Listen,
You could adapt.
But I don't keep this stuff in the house.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Unfortunately, my collection's protected by a biometric retinal scanner, and I'd really like to keep both my eyes.
He's like, yeah, I'll go with you. It's okay. Riri, you little blackmail artiste. Proud. Natalie it's going to be your new bestie. Sorry. Why do you look so sad, bro? Oh my God. Oh my God.
Sometimes it just happens. It's totally involuntary.
crying?
It'll go away on its own.
Still on the part where you get blackmailed
I
twice.
mean,
a
you're in the black
day. What
market.
other shady
I feel like that goes hand in hand.
We're tech ethicists.
Joe, you gotta demand.
Right? Don't let that woman tell you off with her damn dog.
Menacing iron suit. People have no choice but to respect.
She wasn't wearing the suit when she talked to you.
Bruh, you were born with that kind of power.
Let him know.
Or your shitty neighbor or anybody else walk all over you. Except for me. I'm allowed because I got the menace.
All right, let's not get too cocky. Alanis Morissette. I am happy for you. Look, this is a bop. This is a bop.
Take you for an Alanis fan.
Listen, this album was gold.
Complicated creature, Joe.
Period. We're layered. We're on a spectrum.
I'm coming for you, bestie. Now, how the hell do I get out of here?
You made an AI that's a little too AI, girl.
Get behind me, Satan.
Right?
I'm not a ghost. Just an AI coming from that little projector you got over there.
Right? Like, you can't just roll up on people with dead people's faces. Off the cross-side band that you gave to me. You. No, Jagged Little Pill. Masterpiece.
Oh, like kill? You think I'm gonna kill you?
I don't know, bro.
That's fresh.
People who like
It's
cry
hilarious to think
impulsively in their
people
cars,
like
you know, I don't know what they're capable of. You are so far away from any type of civilization, girl. You brave. Because that suit would take time to like power up and stuff. Lights, please. Need to see where I'm walking into. Since it doesn't look like it has an exit other than this one place. Okay, he wasn't kidding. It's a bunker.
What are you gonna do with all of this?
None of your business.
Should we be worried?
Calm down. It's nothing more than a quirky hobby.
Sure. Charles Manson probably said the same thing.
Would a shady bunker have that on the list?
It's literally
Not that phrase.
self-guided missiles.
I'm returning those.
How? You know what? I want to know.
Piling on layers of clunky metal and wrapping ourselves in wire.
Do I detect some shade?
A little bit.
No, that sounds sus.
Well, if not to help people, why would you build the suit?
Yeah, exactly.
Look, you're not going to tell anyone where you got all this, right?
How would that help her?
The only way to be in it is to force your way through.
Really?
It's an AI. She's going to take that literally.
You need an iron suit for a nighttime job, and I'm the shady one.
I think it's
You're both shady.
Neither one of us are outstanding members.
Thank you.
The power it takes to scan a human brain would hypothetically turn it to goop, and only an idiot with a death wish would try that.
Thanks. Because I did. Didn't die, though.
You spent millions on all of this, and you haven't touched anything.
I've touched.
How else would I have brought everything in?
With gloves.
How's this
I
right
shouldn't.
now?
I love that she's pushing him through his barriers. This is so cute.
Cold.
Okay.
Do it. Feels good, don't it? Why buy toys if you can't play with them? Well done. She's like, I did that. Did you see that I did that? Because I did that. I kind of like this. This is an unconventional friendship. I don't hate it. But then again, I don't like that face that he just made, so maybe I take it back. Sometimes that whole bumbly thing is an act. It very well could be. This music with the fighting is actually a hilarious choice. Damn. I'm gonna mess the place up at the same time. Oh, God. You get the cripple?
Hey girl, how's the heist going?
Not when she's working. Look, exactly. She almost died now, thanks to you.
Turn off your MRF so you can magnetize yourself to one of these platforms. The MRF is the only thing keeping me from death.
Ooh.
Don't worry, Ree. I got you.
You gotta trust it. That's why you built an AI, right?
Can you get us back on with Riri?
Of course I can. This is gonna take a minute, Zadie.
We don't.
Zaddy? What's going on here?
Looks like I'm under an Impala, which means 6-speed automatic transmission.
Okay. I wish I knew about cars. I don't know. Sounds right.
So don't want to freak you out, but we're like 5 miles away from the way station, which means
Yeah. Oh, right. You're gonna get hit.
you about to get crushed like a pop can.
No pressure.
I'm gonna trigger an emergency override.
We don't do improv, kid.
Well, we're doing it now.
Yeah, well, thing better work, otherwise I'm
That's
gonna end up in
hilarious.
jail.
I love it.
A little to the left. I don't need you backseat driving.
I mean, she's already doing it, so accept it. Y'all don't need to be fighting. See, now, if you didn't have them long-ass nails, you could type faster. Ooh, ooh. No more drivey for you. Oh, that's terrifying. Oh, that's why the cloak's special.
6-figure salaries, benefits, free access to the highway, of course, and equity in the company as an anonymous co-owner. So, ready to sign?
Sounds like a good deal.
Unless you want your investors to have a front row seat to the encore.
Oh, what's the encore? I'm interested. Who uses real pens anymore?
Pleasure doing business with you.
Of course, flirting on your way out. Stop. Bonding. Exactly.
The whole thing is over. You can just.
What the hell?
Just put the gun down.
Make it stop.
Natalie, what's going on? Natalie,
Put your hands up.
Trauma?
no, man, there's no need for that.
Trauma.
Natalie, give me control of the suit.
Get down, I'll shoot.
What just happened? What just happened? Oh.
Good.
Not really. Interesting. It was a brain scan, so it's responding to her trauma. That's very not good for an AI, actually. This is why you don't do brain scans. Run, girl. What are you standing around for? Let's go. Saw your full face and everything.
What do you know about Parker?
Indeed.
I heard he jacked it from Kochek at Bottom Lounge. Then somebody else was saying that he wrestled it off a demon.
Damn. Okay, nothing but rumors.
One time, I saw Parker shirtless.
The tat.
I know.
Focus. True though.
Scales everywhere.
Scale.
I don't think he can still get it. You know what I'm saying?
She said we don't discriminate.
You know what?
So that's why he can be
This might be
transparent.
the prettiest group of washed up criminals I ever saw.
Washed up. Riri's like, I am 19 years old.
You've lived your lives waiting to be seen, waiting to be acknowledged for your greatness. Well, I see you.
Period.
But the money above us will never notice our brilliance unless we force them. And they're terrified. But I don't give a shit.
So I'm trying to figure out what the end goal is here. Like, what's the point of it all? That's what I want to know. That eye contact, though, again. But Riri, you should ask more questions. You know, for leverage or collateral.
Hey,
Hey, you left me hanging.
I remember hearing Gary yelling for us to get down. We can come back to that later, Ree. Right now, I need to talk to you about Parker.
Oh, you did a background check.
By the tunnel, I sensed some crazy energy radiating off Parker.
We wake up to aliens, androids, wizards on our timeline.
Valid.
More concerned with how my AI is having panic attacks.
Riri, I'm being serious.
So she.
If you want to keep playing Spy Kids, you gotta have my back.
Are you saying I can stay?
I mean, I think so.
No. Don't make an excited face.
Why would they not? It's feeding off of you, girl. She's like, I'll just take my hair out. It looked like I got ready. As a lady, we've done that many times. It's like, damn, I forgot I was going to be late. Just change up the hairdo a little bit, put on some lip gloss. I put in effort.
I waited many moons to hear you admit defeat, young Padawan.
Padawan.
Not crossing universes. I see what you did there, Disney.
I just thought it was, Trekkies for life, but
I mean, ooh, that's a hard call. Both are dope, but I gotta say, it's more about the wars than the trek for me.
Sometimes I listen to it when I get the urge to talk to her.
Hmm.
I wish I could right now, honestly.
Do you tell him? Oh no, it talks to you? Okay. You know, it's always the ones who are attractive, you know? Made a deal with the devil for that, huh?
Brian, look at you.
It's fine.
That doesn't look fine to me.
Look, I can't keep covering this shit up for you, Brian.
Oh, so that's why he's tatting him.
Look what it's doing to you.
Price I gotta pay
Why?
after what he did to me.
Who's he?
Don't save her. She don't wanna be saved.
We need deets. What's going on? Why is this happening? What's happening?
Natalie?
She's like, whew, I thought you found out my life of crime.
She has the same mannerisms, same voice, same smile. Can you make one of Gary?
Oh, that would actually be the $1 billion idea.
Sorry. I don't even know what Natalie is. I wish I could.
I don't actually think that's live, laugh, love. I don't actually think that's true, but oh, is he gonna have his attitude now? Tell that lady to take her dog and shove it. Go take care of Heather. I mean the situation. Whoa, that came out wrong. The way I would have dog crap delivered to her lawn daily. Okay, I don't know. Maybe you're a little too angry, bro. I was going for petty here, not angry. Okay, that's okay then. Petty is good. Cut them all. But maybe you've also unleashed an animal here, Riri. I'm always scared of the repressors, man. He's gonna like, Alanis made me do it. Oh, man. All right. Well, that's the Riri impact. She said, go ahead. Do what you need to do. Stand up for yourself. And, you know, there are nice, lovely flowers. You can just, you know, maybe take them, put them into his house. I would. If you're going to do all that, I would put them in a vase and put them in my window so she can actually see that it was me. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? I'll be like, I'll report your dog. I'll get your dog taken away. Mess with me. All right. Well, episode 2, we got the job. We got the suit. We got more insight into what Natalie is. I did not realize that that's the way she was creating the AI, but I figured that it had to be if this thing had all these memories and such a complete vision of what Natalie is. And I love the idea of that because obviously the only other AI that we know of with the Iron Man world is Jarvis, which was an amalgam of some people, I believe, that were part of Tony's life, right? Well, Tony's dad, actually. But yes, it's kind of the same idea, but this is like a more refined version, right? Jarvis was only ever a voice. There was really never a manifestation until, of course, what's the name of the robot? Vision. But before that, you know, it was really just kind of a voice that would be in Tony's head, quite literally. Whereas in this case, this is much more fleshed out. And I really love the parallel of how, you know, she didn't mean for this AI to reflect, you know, something that was deep and personal to her. She had like an idea, like she said, it's supposed to be refined. It's supposed to look like this. It's supposed to look like, but that's not what you'll be feeding, especially from your subconscious. I said a lot in episode 1 that Riri's repressing her emotions. She's repressing her grief around her stepdad and her friend. And it really is something that she needs to deal with because even though she thinks she's not thinking about it, it's in her subconscious constantly, right? Just hearing the voice or seeing certain places, it immediately triggers a very deep emotional response from her. So understandably, this brain scan that she was doing, I don't think she recognized that it would go to her subconscious as well. And again, it's because she fell asleep, I think is the main reason, right? Because when you fall asleep, your conscious mind goes to sleep, your subconscious stays awake, right? It actually becomes more active when you're asleep. So it makes sense that the computer that was scanning would go and scan the active part of her brain if her conscious brain shut down. So it makes more sense of how Natalie came to be. And it probably is saying that Riri probably dreams about her quite a bit as well and what happened. And, you know, that's both sad, but also very touching. And anyway, we see that because this AI is so detailed in these memories, it's acting the way that Natalie does, even in the sense of not listening to Riri's direct commands and really very much taking on a life of its own. And I feel like that's probably the interesting part of this, you know, because it's kind of autonomous, right? Most AI is trained to be, you know, in servitude to whoever creates it, right? Even the AIs we have right now, you have to, put something in. It doesn't do things on its own unless you write a job for it to do that. And so the fact that Natalie is so autonomous, I mean, it sounds like it can, for the most part, listen to Riri, but it doesn't. So yeah, a little scary when you think about it, right? We're getting into Skynet territory, but it's interesting to see how this dynamic is working, but it's a good thing. And through it, we're learning more about Riri. I think this is a really smart way to write in this character. Like, it, of course, gives us background on Natalie, but through that, we're also getting background on the way that Riri thinks and what her mindset is, and also sadly through her traumas that she's experiencing as well. And I like that with her mother, the way her mom just automatically accepted Natalie, like didn't freak, because most people be like, I love that she's like, get behind me, Satan, because yes, first of all, but then she's like, oh, Natalie, oh, sorry, no, we rebuilt you. Okay, cool. Like, let's talk. So I thought that was kind of cute, but again, just a really cool way of giving us more insight into our main character, who for the most part is pretty buttoned up, right? Riri doesn't really talk about herself. We got a little bit of a narration in episode 1, and it was more about her journey and her perspective of where her life is, but it wasn't really true to who she is as a person. And so I'm thinking that between Natalie, the AI, and the interactions that this AI has with different people, this is how we're going to kind of peel back the layers of Riri. And I think that's really fun and very realistic, to be honest. And like how we learned in this episode that Riri's very closed off from people, right? Her mom said, if you want to be in Riri's life, you got to push your way in because she's not letting you in. It's not going to be an open door. And so that's a very good thing to learn about her. Trust issues. I don't know if she's always had them or if they developed as a result of the trauma, but it's interesting. But anyways, that's kind of the Riri side of things in this episode. And then we see that she had her first job with the suit with her, what's his name? Excuse me, Parker and his crew. So yeah, that went well, although mostly because thankfully Riri does well in, with thinking on the fly. And we see that this job was to get them money, right? Money through this tunnel system, which again, I'm thinking like, you blackmailed someone into, right, signing a contract, but how do you know that they're not just going to, just going to renege on that as soon as they get some time? But, for the sake of plot, I'm going to let that go. But we're seeing now that after the heist went through, Riri is starting to ask more questions because she did not see, and I'm glad that, because I was thinking of that, when the cop came and the freezing thing happened and Parker shot, something about that shot was kind of off to me in the moment, and I couldn't figure out what it is, and now I know it's because I didn't see him. I was like, where did it come from? So I think that's why Riri started asking the questions, because she too didn't see Parker, because she has peripheral vision. She would have seen a Parker just run up behind her or heard him or something. So the fact that the gun just went off all of a sudden, that's what kind of freaked her out. And I think that's what sparked her asking more questions about him. Like, wait a minute, like maybe there's things I'm not getting here about him. And that's when, of course, we find out that Natalie actually picked up some strange energy, she called it, from him. And I guess she didn't pick it. Well, actually, no, she wasn't around until that moment. But before I go into the Parker thing, that also reminds me of the freezing, actually. That was another really great insight into Riri as a character, right? The fact that when the gun came out and the officer pointed it at them, the avatar froze, right? Natalie froze, and Riri was like trying to command her, and she just froze. And then eventually she went away and she couldn't even control the suit. And I'm like, wow, like it even picked up her trauma response, because that trauma would not have been Natalie. She wouldn't have known what Natalie felt in that moment on that fateful day. That trauma is strictly from Riri, right? It was completely Riri's trauma around guns, gunfire, all that stuff because of that day. So again, just giving us more insight into how fresh her trauma still is, even though it looks like what happened a while ago. So anyway, coming back to Parker, we saw last episode that he was getting tatted, and we heard his cousin saying like, I hate doing this to you. But I was thinking like, is it just because of the pain aspect? Why are we doing this? But now it's because we see that whatever is happening, something is happening to Parker where he's getting, I don't know, I would say it looks like a form of poisoning or a form of reaction. I mean, in this universe, the Marvel-verse, God knows, it could be a virus. It could be some form of takeover. It could be a symbiote. It could be so many things, but either way, whatever it is, it's clearly not fun because it looks like it's hurting him. It looks like Parker's hearing voices as well. And from the sounds of things, it's associated with the cloak, but it's somehow it must be some type of contract or deal he's got going on with it. I don't know anything about this. As I've said in the first episode, I have no history on the characters here or Riri's world, so I'm not sure who this character in Marvel is, but yeah, it's feeling like there might be some kind of dark contract going on with this cloak. It gives Parker the ability to turn invisible, as we saw, possibly soundless as well. And my guess is maybe it does some other things around his physicality to enhance him, but the price is whatever is happening to his body. It looks like it's consuming him maybe every time he uses it. And so that's why he's getting the tats to hide whatever this thing is doing to him, I guess, to keep people from asking questions. And then we heard that one girl, I forget the name, that the person who made the weapon, she was saying that he had scales. That's the way she described it. It doesn't look like scales to me, but I don't know. I mean, it was a dark room. So anyway, so now we've learned that there is definitely something nefarious happening with Parker, but the reasons for that are still vague. He gave us a bit of a story in this episode about how he's been on his own since he was a kid, and it was Johnny who, took him in and helped him survive. But what happened? That's a big time gap there between when he was a kid to now. And why is he so adamant to take back things from the rich, right? We heard him say to his cousin later on that he has to go through this. He has to endure what he's enduring because of what they did to him. And we didn't get the who that was or what the thing was, but obviously they're giving us some breadcrumbs to the trail of his story at some point. But yeah, I'm looking forward to figuring out where he is, right? Because right now I'll give it mysterious vibes. I won't call it evil. I'll call it more mysterious vibes. I don't get the sense that he's necessarily overtly dark, but I do think that he's desperate, and that is never a good combination. So anyway, we'll see what comes of that. But they definitely made sure in this episode to show that there is something going on between Parker and Riri, like the extended looks, the held glares, there's something sparking there. So I don't know if that's a good thing though, because obviously we don't know what he's all about, but we see that even Natalie picked up on the fact that there's something off about Parker and that she's kind of trying to warn Riri to keep a good distance until she figures out what that is. So that was kind of that. Outside of that, we just kind of had that side subplot with the guy who had all the armaments. I'm thinking we might see him again, since that's probably going to be her local supply shop, since he apparently collects just all the things that Riri needs. Very plot devicey, but I'm not even mad about it because, hey, we're in a world, like she said, of witches and wizards and Thor's falling from the sky. So this is by far the least weird thing we could have in this show. So yeah, I think this is another good episode. Again, I'm liking the way that they're unfolding this story with Riri and how we're going to get to know her. And I feel like this season is going to be about her not only like truly rediscovering her purpose of why she wants to keep doing things with the suit, because that question was raised by the guy who supplied Joe. He asked her, like, why are you doing this? Why do you want to build the suit? And she didn't really answer the question. So I feel like throughout this season, we're going to get the answer to that question, or Riri's going to figure out the answer to that question. But also, I think we're going to have her, finally come head to head with that trauma that's been holding her back in a lot of ways and find her way to push through it. So I look forward to seeing the journey while we actually get to see some really cool stuff. Women in STEM. All right, that's pretty much it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, please show some love, and I'll see you in the next one.